better for them to view.
Okay, so let me address it. When y'all are asking me, is it okay to re-traumatize his daughter? Listen, y'all, let's stop playing this game. There's nothing I could say or do to re-traumatize that baby because the trauma has already set in. However, if we speak it out loudly and we say it to our community, maybe the next baby won't have to deal with the goddamn trauma. See, when I made that post, it was intentional. It was intentional. It was intentional.
And let me say this too. When we speak about the character, we don't know D.L.Hughley in the totality to speak about his character, but what we know is about his actions. So what we can say reasonably and factually is that when you have a man that said, essentially, that he didn't do right by his daughter, that seemed to me that it would create a level of humility that you wouldn't go after other people so vehemently in the manner that you do. So that's the moment when humility steps in and say, I have my own demons to deal with. So moving forward, the way in which I approach and go after people, I will not. You see, when Monique went on his show trying to support her friend at that time, D.L., and she was asked, would you rather your husband sleep with Lee Daniels without a condom or Corinne Steffens with a condom? That is a violation of a woman's whole position, because you're violating this black woman as you are violating your community, because you're trying to point out this is a person who is this man and this woman here, and there are implications surrounding both of them that are unsaid, which is why he chose them. But now, like many sisters who have seemingly Stockholm syndrome, you've been captured and fallen in love with the captor that's violating you. Because if you're protecting an individual that said, I didn't do right by my daughter, and you're hearing a black woman saying, I went on his show as a friend, but he didn't do right by me. What do you guys think you have coming? What do you ladies think that you have coming? When black men or men tell you that you look like something is wrong, the reason why many of you, something is wrong, because you suffer in silence.
And please, Daddy, let me address something. When I hear y'all saying mind your business, did you say the same shit to DL when he talks about everybody's business? See, I didn't put DL's baby out there. It's an interview that's out there. DL told the story. What I did was posted the story to say, look at the character of the man. And that's
look at the actions.
The actions of the man. See, what happens is, y'all, when you listen to this man speak so much about Kanye West and how he's stalking this woman and all that he's doing, and didn't understand that man was trying to protect his babies. You spoke, and if you did that to my daughter, I would do something about it. Well, you're talking with a forked tongue because something was done to your baby.
And when people said, oh, do you speak for all black women? Don't speak for all black women. She's speaking as a black woman for the trauma that black women had. For those of them who connect with it, you connect with it. Because the message that we're giving today is not for everyone. The message that we're trying to share today are for those individuals that are tired of being enslaved, are tired of thinking, because I may have to face the wrath of the tribe, I will go along with what's wrong to save my hide. The reality is, how can a black woman expect protection from her community? How can a black woman expect that when you heard what it is that he conveyed, and worst of all, to give excuses for an individual that continuously calls out people? See, because we're not here saying that one has to be perfect. We're not sitting here saying that everyone is perfect and we've never made mistakes, but the mistakes that we make, we have to own those mistakes. And in owning those mistakes, it creates, again, a level of empathy for those who we deem have made a mistake. When you hear DL talk, he does not talk empathetically about the individuals. As he said, in reference to Monique, when she was on stage performing her job, that he eviscerates individuals in the manner that Monique eviscerated him. And what happens is when a black woman decides to stand and fight against a man for the same things that if that man called that man out, it's okay.
Come on.
Well, and we will sit back. You heard the phone call of Tyler Perry saying, I was wrong and I'm going to make it right, and it hasn't been made right. And guess what? Most people are not up in arms about it. Why? Because it affects someone so insignificant as a black woman, and then be a big black woman on top of that. So for the black women out there that are in support of DL, know that it was a black man that brought it to our attention about that video. Brother Amir Sedan, much love to you.
And just so that we're clear, because people are saying, oh, well, why would you've been on that. We found that out last night. We just got a phone call out of nowhere.
From a black man saying he has never seen so many black men attacking black women. And if black men are going to refuse to protect the black woman, then what protection does the black man have? The community's link is weakened due to us allowing the black woman to succumb to the forces that be. And sometimes it's at the hands of the black man. I'm sitting here telling you as a black man that I had the opportunity, the terrible opportunity of watching my father be physically abusive to my mother, beat her down, little woman. I've heard stories about my grandfather doing the same thing. So that's generation after generation. What I refuse to do is sit back and allow that to happen on my watch. So when people see the irregularity of the black man and black woman sitting together, let's make it a commonality. Let's not make it so that it's so odd to see, because what she's saying is you are worthy as a black woman of being treated equally. You are worthy as a black woman of being treated fairly. You are worthy as a black woman not to allow yourself to be beaten and allow the beater, the person who violated you, to get away with what it is that they've done. You deserve that. And when you have people that are on your side that happen to be of the opposite sex, utilize that relationship, because sometimes a woman can't connect with a man in the way that a man can verbalize to another man, what are you doing? What are you doing? And it was a black man that tipped us to that last night. Again, a brother, Amir Sedan, who brought that to our attention because he was tired of the treatment that the black women in the community are getting. And I'll say this before I pass it to you, my love.
Yes, Daddy.
There are far more black men, black husbands, black boyfriends, black men, gay, straight, whatever you want, but there are far more black men that are supportive of the black woman than the powers that be would allow you to know. And they're incensed to know that this has happened. When we say to white people and to the white policemen that we got to call out the bad ones and for what they do and the wrong that they do, we as the black community have to be bold enough to do the same thing. Don't ask somebody to do something that you're not willing to do.
See, I keep saying I understand it. I keep saying I understand the conditioning and the fear and traditionally how we've done this, how we continue to do this. And when y'all are saying, Monique, why would you drag his daughter in it? Y'all not listening to the shit.
He dragged his daughter in it when he said
He
it.
told the story. Those are his words. If you go out there, you can see that interview. It's all over. But because I posted it on my page, now y'all are saying, Monique, why are you attacking? Let me tell y'all something, and I want to be so clear about this shit, because when I see these kind of comments, listen, when I see comments like, you're going to get blackballed again, if that is the case, then so goddamn be it, y'all. If because I'm speaking up and speaking out, but I was getting ready to say it. I don't like to say juicy words on here because the babies might be watching. But when you start getting in business with real cats, see, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, that's a real cat. See, Lee Daniels, that's a real cat. Though we had to go through the mud, baby. But at the end of the day, what he proved himself to be was a stand-up black man, because a genuine I am sorry, that proves yourself to be that genuine stand-up black man. So they out there. So for the ones that can't hold their shit, I don't want to be in business with them. Let me be clear. And for you black women, see, this is why I'm a little warm right now, y'all. I'm a little warm. Because, see, my daddy was D.L.Hughley. My daddy, even though he apologized, he went to his grave, and I still looked at him like, you a piece of shit. Because you talked a good game, but when your family needed your protection, you went in your bedroom and you drank yourself to sleep. See, I know that cat. I know him. So when I saw that story, and when that brother called and said, let me just give this to y'all, and y'all keep saying, oh, he apologized. He did. But when did an apology erase the trauma?
And that's not as much the issue about the apology.
Come on.
In conjunction with the trauma. And when you say you're bringing his daughter into it, what his daughter is getting right now is someone that's in alignment with her as a black woman who was abused by her brother. So that everything she has felt and everything that she feels moving forward, she knows that it's a level of confirmation, because no one knows what it is that that sister went through but that sister. And the other individuals who knows what it is to be violated, especially another black woman coming to her aid, that's a level of comfort that oftentimes doesn't happen, because again, we in our black community, from slavery to right now, have been trained, have been conditioned. Move forward. You got work to do. Keep that under the hat. You got to be ready for tomorrow. And then all of a sudden, one day, you break down. Why? Because you're not dealing with it openly and honestly. We as a community have to stop living in secret and be honest enough to speak openly. Because if we don't, we're going to suffer in silence. And then you wake up one day, this person did something to themselves and you didn't know why. You've got, again, people that won beauty pageants and they took themselves out. Why? Don't know. But we can't get better until we have these conversations aloud. I don't want to project the idea that he's a terrible human being, but it is terrible that he doesn't realize as a human being what he said he did to his daughter. And if he is contrite about what he did, or if he is sorry about what he did to his daughter, then show empathy to the other individuals out there. You can have dialogue about anybody you want to have, but there's a respectful way to do it. Because if you notice, I ain't trying to talk about him terribly. I'm not, as a black man, what I think he did and allowed to happen, I don't understand it. But what I'll say is this: we got to talk about it.
And I want to address something.